You're more than welcome to do that. Little, um, maybe you want to cross your legs the opposite way. We get into a habit of crossing our feet the same way all the time. So maybe you want to take the opposite leg in front today. Feels a little different. It'll feel a little different on your hips. So you're going to let your sitting bones come down into your mat, your block. If you're kneeling, we're up nice and tall. Shoulders back and down. Let's bring our elbows underneath our shoulders, palms down or up, your choice. Eyes can be closed or the gaze is off your cheekbones. As you settle in, come into your comfortable position. We are going to feel our inhale through our nose and our exhale through our nose. Both the inhale and the exhale is through your nose. As you continue to settle in, bring more attention to your breath as you breathe into your diaphragm, your ribs, your chest. When you exhale, feel your breath release all the way out to the bottom of your belly. Inhale, diaphragm, ribs, chest. Exhale, release your breath all the way out. Take a few more breaths here as you settle in. Relaxed shoulders, soft jaw. At the end of your next breath, meet with your hands heart center. Eyes can open. From here, inhale, reach your arms up. Side stretch to the right. Bring your right hand down, reach up over, lengthen down the side of your body. Now reach your arm up to center. Opposite comes down, reach up and over. There's your length. Here's your inhale up. Exhale, side stretch. Inhale up, side stretch to the other side. Reach both your arms up, gentle twist to the right, arms come down. Inhale, reach up, gentle twist to the left. We do this one more time each side. Lift, gentle twist. Lift, gentle twist. Here's your inhale, reach up. Hands return to your heart center here. We bring ourselves into all fours as we get ready to practice our cow cat. We are down on our hands and our knees. Lift your collarbone, your chest. Inhale. As you exhale, you pull your belly in, drop top of the head, tailbone to your mat. With your inhale, you lift. Open through your chest, belly drops. And now you round, pull your belly in, top of the head, tailbone drops. Take one more at your pace. At the end of this breath, we meet right back in center. We take our wrist stretch here. Fingertips can reach out to the side, or if your wrists are more pliable, you can feel free to take the fingers towards your knees, adding a bigger stretch right here. Please be nice to yourself. Only go where it's appropriate for your wrist. Once we stretch that way, we're going to take one hand. The back of the hand is to the mat. It's a one more stretch for your wrist, your forearms. We switch. You take the opposite arm, and then you only stretch as far as feels okay for your wrist, your forearm. Let your hands return to the mat. You want your wrist straight ahead towards the front of your mat. Fingertips pointing straight ahead. Take one leg out behind you. Press through your heel. Press back. So feel the length through the back side of your leg. Hold the leg here as you press. Level out your hips. And now lift your leg to hip height. Opposite fingertips reach out to the front. Hold it right here. We're stabilizing as we hold. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Release this side. Take the other foot behind. Start with a stretch. Press your heel away. So you want to feel the length in the back of your leg. Once you have that, make sure your hips are level. So you want your hip bone down towards the mat. We lift the leg. Fingertips reach and lift. Take one more breath. Let your leg come down to the floor. Take a child's pose. With your child's pose, tuck your toes under. Press your hips back. Fingers reach to the front. Now you will only go as low as feels comfortable. Walk your hands to the right. Long stretch down the left side of your body. Bring your hands to the front. And now we take it down the right side of our body. Bring yourself to center. One big stretch right here. Bring yourself to all fours. We are getting ready for our downward dog. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips. Press your hips back. Make any adjustments so you can get comfortable in your downward dog. You would bend your knees, push your hips back, let your head come right between your arms. Now straighten your legs, lift your heels. Our hips are going up towards the ceiling. Now you're letting your heels come down towards the floor. If that is causing discomfort, bend your knees. Feel free to walk your heels. Be in the downward dog that feels good for your body. We glide forward, plank pose. You're coming all the way forward into your plank. We want to stay engaged right here. And now we lower ourselves to the mat, knees or toes. Bring yourself down, Sphinx pose. We're going to take our elbows underneath our shoulders. Forearms are down, palms are down. Reach your toes away and give yourself a lift. So think about lifting up through the top of your head. At the same time, you're going to press down into your palms, your forearms. It's a little pull forward as you reach to the top of your head. Long length for your spine, and as well as a stretch for the front side. You release yourself down. We're taking 3 cobra poses. Hands are by your rib cage. Tops of the feet are on the mat. And then at whatever height feels good for your cobra, maybe it's a halfway, Maybe it's just a baby cobra. Nice inhale and exhale. At the end of your third one, bring yourself back into your child's pose. Feel free to take your time, and we will all meet in a child's pose as you press your hips back. And you might choose to stay up higher, a little puppy dog here. You might want to keep your hips lifted, or you might like how it feels to sink all the way back. Bring yourself to all fours. It is your downward dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, connect with your breath. It is diaphragm, ribs, chest. And from here, we are going to step or walk to the top of your mat. We meet in a halfway lift. Forward fold. Ground into your feet. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands, heart center. Here comes your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is an exhale. Knees can bend, rib cage against your thighs. Neck relaxes, top of the head towards up. Halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins, up by your knees. You want to get long right here. Bring yourself up as high as necessary to get a really long spine. You're pressing down into your feet, and you're really reaching through the top of your head. Take a nice inhale. We're going into a low lunge. Fingertips come to your mat. Left leg steps back. Bring the knee all the way down to the mat. And reach your fingertips up high right here. Here is your low lunge. Just check. Knee is over ankle. Fingertips are up. Here's your gentle twist to the right. Hands come to the outside of your thigh as you stay tall through the top of your head. Reach your fingertips up high. Take a shift back into your hips. So we're going to lift our front heel. It's a hamstring stretch. This will look different for everybody. Maybe you come all the way back. Maybe you stay up a little higher. It's wherever you can find a nice stretch for the back of your leg. Now we are going to shift our weight forward. We're meeting in a halfway lift. You're going to lift the back knee. It's a rock and press movement as you meet in your halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. Here's your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Bend your knees. Maybe you go halfway because that works best. Halfway lift, long spine. Bring your weight back into your heels. And now let your fingertips come down to your mat. Right foot steps back. It's your low lunge. Knee comes to the mat. Once you have your legs, fingertips reach up. Gentle twist towards your front knee. Keep the top of your head going towards the ceiling. And it's a gentle, soft twist. So you might choose to keep it a little bit more to the front. Our fingertips reach up. It is your hamstring stretch as you shift the weight back. You can lift your toes. Give yourself a stretch in the hamstring. So that means your hips, you want to level them out so you get a nice stretch in the back of the front leg. We shift our weight forward. You're going to lift the back leg. Here comes the little rock and roll. Push off to the top of your mat. Take a halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach all the way up. Strong legs, strong core. hands, heart center. We're going through one more set with our lunges. Have a block handy, so we're going to be going a little bit deeper when we go down. A block is a great option to add. Here comes the inhale. Forward fold is your exhale. Halfway lift. Bring your fingertips to your mat. Take your left leg back. There's your low lunge. Now this time, I'm going to keep the back knee up. Remember, you always have the choice to bring the knee back down to the floor. This is where I'm going to have the block handy. We are going to be adding a twist. So back knee up or down. You want to keep the leg active. Now to add the twist, you're going to ground your hand, left hand down into the mat. Your twist is coming towards your right knee. Fingertips can reach towards the ceiling, but you might feel better keeping your twist at a halfway mark versus reaching and lifting up. So check to see what feels good for your body today. Back leg, if you have it lifted, is nice and active. Keep lifting and pressing. Release your hand down. It is your big step to the top of your mat. That means you're going to do a little push right into your halfway lift. Long spine. Forward fold. Reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. We have the other side. It's a reach up, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift. Fingertips come down to the mat. Take your right foot back. There's your low lunge. Option knee up or knee down. If you like to use the block, have the block nearby. Once you have your legs set up, I'm using the block, but you can always keep it to the mat. You add maybe your twist with your arm low, or you twist and lift your fingertips towards the ceiling. Stay connected with your breath. Fingertips release down. We are coming back to the top of your mat. Use your push to your halfway lift. Really strong center right here. Long back as if you're looking over a cliff. Forward fold, neck relaxes, knees can soften. Now ground into your feet, strong legs, strong core. Reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. We're taking a knee lift. Ground into the right foot. Lift the left knee. Hold your pose. Set the left foot down. Now ground into the left. We lift the right knee. Release the foot down. Take a nice big inhale, reach up. Forward fold as you exhale. Remember, knees can always bend. That can help support your low back. Halfway lift. It is a long spine, so pull your shoulder blades back, down, long spine. Forward fold. And now reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. We're coming into a warrior two pose. The left foot staying to the front, your right foot steps back. It's a long stance as you open up. Bring the knee over the ankle. Fingertips come up when you're ready. Remember, shoulders relax. You might want to take your thumbs up, let your shoulders slide back. This might feel really nice here. Stay there. Another option, palms down, gazes over your fingertips. Now you want to feel the engagement. Legs are active. Top of the head is towards the ceiling. Take one more breath here. We flip the front hand, reverse your warrior. Reach back, lengthen. Strong, strong leg here as you reach back. Maybe you choose to look down the back leg. Take it a little deeper. Now take an inhale, extend it side angle. Our legs are still active. You bring your forearm to your thigh. We're reaching this top hand diagonal. So you're thinking a long line from the outer edge of your foot through your fingertips. You're active through your core as you stay lifted. So we're light on this bottom arm. If you're collapsing and you're holding yourself up, see if you can engage, get a little stronger. Warrior two, keep the legs active, bring yourself up. There's your warrior two. And now you straighten the front leg. Toes are going to the corners of your mat. It is going to be goddess pose. Hands are coming to your heart center. Let your hips sink down. Maybe they sink a little, maybe they sink a lot. We want to be lifted and tall. Goddess arms as you open. And now we squeeze our arms together. We open our arms up. Take a squeeze and an open. Two more times. Squeeze, open. Here's your last one. We open up, take your hands behind your head, press your head back, stay tall, engage through your core, sink a little deeper, and let your arms relax. They come to your hips, straighten your legs, let your toes come straight ahead, forward fold here, take your time, soften your knees. Take a long spine, think length right here. Stay long through the top of your head. Now, if it feels okay for you, bring your hands down. Now, we really focus on keeping a long back. If you're still feeling good and you want to let the top of your head go towards the ceiling, feel free to do that, but staying at a halfway lift might feel better. We're taking one more breath. Hands return to your hips. Make sure your knees are soft, and then you bring yourself all the way up. We're taking our warrior two, opposite side. Take your toes out towards the front. The back foot is staying grounded. There comes your opening. Fingertips reach front to back. Gaze is over your front hand. And again, you might feel better with your thumbs up. We have one more breath here. Palm faces the ceiling. Reach back, lengthen. You can stay here. You can choose to look, reach a little further. What feels best today? Now here comes. Forearm to your thigh, back arm reaches, long line here. Remember that little rotation. You're bringing your bottom rib cage forward. Warrior two, bring yourself up. There's your lift. We straighten the front leg. Take your toes to the corners one more time. Goddess pose. We start with our hands by our heart center. Keeping your hands at heart center, lift your right heel. Heel comes up. See how it feels. Hold it here. Heel comes down. Now we lift to the left. Release the heel down. It is both heels up. How is it working today? Maybe they come up a little bit. Maybe they come up a lot. Little bit of balance, lots of strength. Let your heels come down. We are going to bring ourselves all the way up. One more time, forward fold, toes are straight ahead. Make sure your knees are soft. You lengthen, soften, soften. Please use a block if that works best for you. You can bring yourself all the way down. Just make sure you're checking what is happening in your body. Is your neck able to relax? This should feel nice. It's a stretch for your thighs. If you're feeling pain, if you're straining, bend your knees. Give your body a little help in the pose. With your inhale, bring yourself halfway up. Hands can come to your hips. You're taking a breath, and then you gently bring yourself all the way up to standing. We are going to bring our feet together, meet at the top of the mat as we go through a half vinyasa here. It is your inhale, reach up. Forward fold is your exhale. Let your knees go soft. Halfway lift. It's a long spine. Think length here. Forward fold. And now ground into your feet. Bring yourself all the way up. Hands, heart center. We're coming into our warrior one pose. Keep your right foot to the front. Take your left foot back. Fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Now you want to let yourself, shoulders relax down. Can you squeeze your palms a little bit more to add more engagement through your upper body? So we're trying to lengthen through your arms. So pretend like you have your block between your hands and you're squeezing it together as you hold your pose. Bring your hands down to your heart center. We are going to straighten the front leg. Back leg can come in halfway. It's our pyramid pose. Intense side stretch is another name for it. Now, if you get halfway down and you feel a big stretch, stay right here. Hold it here. If you want to go lower, you're more than welcome to. You do want to focus on pulling your right hip back. So it isn't about how low you're going into the pose. You just want to pull your hip back. Feel the stretch in your hamstring. Stay strong. Long spine. With your inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Step your back leg in. It is warrior one on the other side. Fingertips reach up. Come into your warrior one pose. And again, as if you're holding your we bring our hands to our heart center. We're coming into our pyramid, intense side stretch. So you're going to take the back foot in halfway and then pulling your hip back, come into your forward fold. And again, maybe you go all the way down, maybe you come part way down. It just depends what works for your body today. Now with your inhale, bring yourself up. You meet with both your feet together. We take our big inhale, feel the length. lengthen. Forward fold. Remember, bent knees are good too if that feels better for you. Halfway lift. It's about getting long through your upper body, so get really long. Forward fold. Reach all the way up to standing. Hands, heart center. So we're going into a little bit of balance work. We're going to be lifting up to our toes and going into a chair pose as well. So I'm going to have my heels under my hips and we're lifting up our heels. Here comes a little bit of balance. Ooh. So we're lifting up. Now from here, heels are coming down into the floor. You sink your hips back. There comes your chair pose. Hips are back, core engaged. Shift your weight to your right leg. We're going to come up into a tree pose. So when you come up, you might choose kickstand, low, or high. Once you get your feet where you want them in your tree pose, arms can reach out wherever they work for you. Maybe they're reaching up, or maybe they stay heart center. So where is your tree pose today? We release our foot down. And now comes the lift up. I'm going to reach up with my hands this time, but you can always keep them at heart center or out to the side. What works best for you? It is your chair pose. Heels come down, hips slide back. Let your fingertips reach out. Strong pose, strong legs. We start shifting to our left leg so we can come into tree pose. Kickstand might feel perfect today, or you might take it on your low leg. You might bring it all the way up. If you choose to set your foot by your knee, please just be nice and avoid pressing into your knee. You want to keep it soft at that point. Take one more breath. Foot releases to the floor. We are doing this one more time each side. Lift your heels, arms, your choice. Chair pose, heels down, sit back. Maybe you're in a little chair, maybe you're going a little deeper. Round into your right foot, tree pose, wherever you want to take your tree pose today. Foot can release to the floor. Lift your heels one more time. Lift your heels, maybe a little, maybe a lot. Heels down, hips back. Tree pose as you bring yourself up. Release your arms, release your legs. We meet at the top of our mat as we get ready to take it down to the floor. Here comes. Big reach up with your inhale. Forward fold. Let your knees bend. We're taking an extra breath here. I want you to let your neck relax. Nice relaxed as you take your forward fold. You can always use your block. Halfway lift. There's your long spine. Hands come to your mat. Step your feet back. We're holding our plank pose. Take your plank, hold it here. Strong center. Release yourself to the mat. It is going to be your cobra pose. 3 times, your choice how high you go. Is it inhale as you lift, exhale as you release. At the end of your third one, set yourself up for your Sphinx pose. That's elbows under your shoulders, palms down. We are lifting up through the top of your head. Pull your elbows towards you. Reach through your toes. Get long right here. Release yourself all the way down. We meet in all fours. Bring yourself to your hands and your knees. We start with the cow cat. Lift your collarbone, chest. Release. Maybe you take a half as you let your low back settle back. You can always keep this soft, gentle as you get the movement through your spine. Bring yourself back to center. Take your right foot behind, start with foot on the floor, press through your heel, get that really long stretch, stretching through the back of your leg. Now engage your core, lift the leg, hold it. Here comes the opposite arm. Release this side, arm and leg down. Set the opposite foot behind, press through the heel, lengthen. Now you're going to lift the leg, hip height. Opposite fingertips. Release your arm and leg. Hands slide a little further forward. Here comes your downward dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, press back. Knees can always bend if that feels better. Now we're going to bring our knees back down to the mat. Bring your forearms down. We're coming down onto our elbows. You're going to clasp your hands. This is going to be your dolphin pose. You can keep your elbows. You can usually check to see they're about the width when you cross your arms. You would clasp your hands. You're taking the top of your head towards the mat. It doesn't have to touch the mat. Now, maybe you want to stay here. This is a lot of shoulder strength. You want to think that you can be able to press your shoulders up. Next option, you would tuck your toes, lift your hips. You're going to feel a lot more work in your shoulders. Maybe you keep your feet exactly where they are, or you might choose to walk your feet in a little bit closer. Just check to make sure you have little to no weight on the top of your head. Now we're working our shoulder strength here. You're pressing your arms down into the mat and lifting your shoulders up and away. Take one more breath and then let your knees come down. Take a nice child's pose. You can let your arms come back by your side if that feels okay, but you can keep your arms out to the front as well. Take one more breath, and now gently bring yourself up as we get ready to take a stretch for our shoulders. I am going to kneel to do this. Now, if kneeling is not something your body likes to do, take your block. You can sit on the block. Sometimes that helps. Remember, there's different levels, so you can always pop it up even higher. If you have 2 blocks handy, take it higher. If kneeling just is not meant for you, then I want you to come through into a seated position. We're going to be taking our strap. We're working on stretching our arms. This is just an added stretch for those. Gives you a nice stretch through your quads, your knees. If your ankles are tight, I have my feet flat down on the floor. When we flip over to the other side, we'll tuck our toes. Right here, we're taking this strap behind. So I put mine in half. Strap is coming behind. You're bending, so think elbow towards the ceiling. Maybe you want to stay here, take the stretch here. Opposite hand is coming up and behind as you add this stretch. So maybe you can walk your hands closer. Maybe you stay exactly where you are. So kind of play around with it. We are stretching our shoulders, our arms. If you're kind of getting all into contortionist positions, back out, let your arm come. We have this strap, and if you just don't want to do it, then take the arm across the front and give yourself a nice stretch right there. Take one more breath on this side, and then you're going to release your arms. Shake it out. Now we're going to the other side. This is where I tuck my toes under. So this is adding a stretch for the bottom of your feet. See if you can get your little baby toes to come under as well. Now, I get it. This is uncomfortable for a lot of people, so don't do it if it's just too extreme. Here comes the other side. Arm is up towards the ceiling, elbows towards the ceiling, and then you press. You take the hand behind, and then you're walking your hands together. Maybe, maybe not. Now we're staying up nice and tall, giving yourself a nice stretch. So you have a lot of stuff happening here. If your shoulders are tight, you're going to feel the stretch in your shoulders. If your feet are tight and you have your toes tucked under, you're going to feel a huge stretch happening in your toes. If your quadriceps are tight, you might feel a lot of stretching happening in your quadriceps. So we want to see gently, so please back off if you're feeling any kind of pain or it's just too much for your body. We're going to take one more breath right here and then release your arms. You can set the strap, keep it nearby. Tuck your toes. You might need to wiggle them a little bit. Bring yourself through to seated. We're taking our feet out all the way in front of us. We're doing this so we can straighten out our legs. So if you were kneeling, taking a nice straight legs is really nice. Dandasana, our staff pose. Hands come by your hips. Let your shoulders come back. Toes are towards the ceiling. Knees are towards the ceiling. And chin is coming towards your chest. Now, if you are rounding, bend your knees so you can sit up really tall. You want to feel length through your spine. And now gently release. We're going into a forward fold. I'm using this strap today. Strap is coming around the bottoms of the feet. When I say bottoms of the feet, I mean the ball of the feet. See if you can make them level. They're even. And then we add a little hinge forward. Hinging is at the hips. It's different than bending. We're trying to keep that nice straight spine. So maybe you don't go as low, and you just go for that nice forward fold. Let your upper body relax. Shoulders are down, elbows relaxed, neck relaxes. Take one more breath here. With an inhale, bring yourself all the way up. We are keeping our straps, but we're going to take it all the way through down to the floor as we bring both of our knees into our chest. Bring your knees in, give yourself a nice hug right here. Shoulder blades relax down, tailbone relaxes down. Keep hugging the one knee in, the other leg goes out straight. So we're stretching for our hips right here. We are going to take this strap around the bottom of your foot. Now remember, if you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can always take the bottom of your foot towards the ceiling without the strap. This is just a nice way to make sure you're leveling out your foot. So sometimes we roll our foot in or out. This is a nice way to keep our foot flat. Also, where is it that your leg can be straight? So if it is causing a lot of pain and you're shaking, you would bring your leg down a little bit lower and just feel this stretch wherever it is that it works for you. Now clasp the strap in one hand. We're opening to the outside, so you're going to start by opening the leg to the outside. As you do this, work on keeping the opposite hip down. And only go as low as appropriate for you, where you can keep your opposite hip down. Bring your leg up to center. You're going to take the leg across your midline. Here comes a stretch for the outer hip, outer thigh. And again, go where it works for you. You might be able to go all the way down to the floor. We're looking for that stretch down the outside of your thigh, outside. Bring your leg back to center. Both your knees are coming into your chest. Here comes the hug. Let the tailbone relax down. Hug the opposite knee in. Other leg goes out. There's the length for your hip. Strap goes around the bottom of your foot. We're taking the bottom of the foot towards the ceiling. And again, find where you get the best stretch. We're taking the strap in one hand. The leg opens to the outside. Focus on keeping the hip down on the floor. You would only go as far as feels okay for you. We start bringing the leg back up to the center. Switch the hand, holding the strap so the leg can come across your midline. Bring your leg back up to center. You can set your strap to the side. Bring both your knees into your chest. We are taking our figure four, that's the bottoms of the feet to the floor. Take an ankle over your knee, so figure four. You could stay low right here. You can lift the bottom leg. What feels good for you as you take this stretch through your hip? If your legs are lifted, you would bring them back down to the floor. We're switching over to the other side. So it's ankle over the knee. Maybe you stay here, you feel a nice stretch. You can choose to lift. Feel free to take it a little deeper, reach behind your thighs, reach towards your shin. We start bringing our foot down to the floor. We're taking a spinal twist here. Here's my block. I like to use a block when I do a spinal twist. Arms can open up to the side, and then you gently let your knees go off to one side as you take your twist. Knees come back to the center, and now you take it over to the other side. Knees can start coming back to the center. Take a happy baby here. That is knees towards your armpits, bottoms of the feet towards the ceiling. If you want to add some rocking side to side, feel free to do that. Pull your tailbone down. If you want to do any extra movements, maybe it's a nice little stretch. Whatever feels good for you. And from there, we are getting ready to go into Shavasana. Now, as a side note, if at any point Shavasana is not a favorite move for you to go into, reclined bound angle is a great option. It's taking the bottoms of your feet together, and you can let your knees open up to the side, arms are to the side. I like to use a block when I'm going into a more restorative reclined bound angle. But if you like to let your legs open all the way up, that's a great choice too. So you may choose to take a version of Shavasana, a move that lets you relax and release. You would let your breath go at your own pace, your own rhythm. So you find a really comfortable position for you to settle down into. you can gently add some movement into your fingers and your toes. Take a deep breath, long stretch. Knees can come into your chest. Take it over to one side. From there, you can bring yourself up into your comfortable seated position. Meet with your hands at heart center. From here, we take a big inhale, reach your arms up. Hands come to your heart center. Namaste. Thank you all very much.